Starting in chapter 6 with example number 1, we're going to be factoring out the greatest common factor. And that's the whole idea that we have two terms, we can have three terms, we can have five terms, but basically we're trying to find what is the biggest factor that both of the terms or all of the terms have in common, and we're going to take that out. And so watch how this looks right here. So see right here, I have 7x and I have 28. So when I ask what's the biggest factor of 7x and 28, well, they both have a 7, a factor of 7. So I'm going to pull out the 7 and then put what goes back inside. So the way you do that is you say 7 times what gives us back a 7k. Well, that's just going to be k. And then 7 times what is 28. And that's just going to give us 4. So 7 times the quantity k plus 4 is its factored form. And I did that by factoring out the greatest common factor. Okay, coming over here now to 32. Again, we want to pull out the greatest common factor. So, and this is very important here, that it's called the greatest common factor. So you just don't want to factor out a factor. I'm going to demonstrate that here real quick. If it's like, oh, well, if I have 32m and 24, well, you know, if they both have a 2 in common. So if I take out a 2, all right, so that's going to give us 16m, and then this right here is going to give us 12. See, but the problem is this now, is if you look at what's inside of the parentheses, notice that, oh, wait a minute, 12m and 16m and 12m. Oh, well, those now have another factor. So now you would have to take out, well, what's a common factor of 16m and 12? And see, you'll just keep going on and on until you get something to where you'll never have a common factor. So this is not the way to do it, because else you have to factor this again. So the way that you actually want to do it is you want to factor out the greatest number from right from the beginning. So 32m and 24m, that's going to give us 8 right there. 8 is the biggest number. So 8 times 4m, and then plus 3. Right? 8 times 4m is 32m. 8 times 3 is 24. And notice 4m plus 3. Notice what's inside of the parentheses. 4m and 3 don't have a common factor. K plus 4 doesn't have a common factor. And that should always happen. Every single time when we factor, nothing should have a common factor inside. So basically we said this is prime right here, what's inside, okay? How about 8a minus 9? Well, 8a and minus 9, none of those have a common factor, so we just say that right there is actually prime. If something doesn't have a common factor, and if it's not factorable, then we just say that that's prime right there. 5z plus 5, well, they both have a 5 in common, so I'm going to pull out the 5. So 5 times what is 5z? Well, just a z. And then 5 times what is 5? Well, it's plus 1. And there we go.